everyone, welcome to Inside the Charts, brought to you by Vantage Markets and myself, Adam from Trade with Precision. So let's have a quick look at that dollar index. So currently finishing that week, this is a monthly chart on the left-hand side, finishing quite low. It's now at the top of the range. The question this coming week is going to see if we're going to re-enter this range. So I'll be looking to see if price continues to break down below support, potentially down towards 105. Right now, this trend is very much in place, but it is sitting at a particular level of support and resistance. And so therefore, it might find support here or it might ultimately break through. So just need to keep an eye on that. I'll be looking to see how the weekly candles play out if we break the low of last week's candle. Sorry, there we go. So looking to see if we get any continuation from that. Should we break the high, we're more likely going to then reject it. But currently, price action looking quite nice and bearish. Have a look at euro dollar as well. Simply here on the daily, it's attempting to break up through some resistance around 1.0500. And if it succeeds in finding support where it is now, my expectation is to see this continue to head higher. All right, supporting the idea of a weaker US dollar. If we have a look at cable certainly looking more bullish in comparison. Pretty much a strong uptrend over here on the daily, well above the 50 period moving average. In fact, the 50, 20, and 10 have now shifted into a bullish formation. This also again supports that idea of a weaker US dollar. Aussie dollar, US dollar as well. You can see price also here having broken through resistance. So it's the only one right now is the euro dollar that hasn't managed to do that. This also having a bit of a weak day on Friday. That dollar making a little bit of a comeback on Friday, but still overall, this trend to the upside is intact. Let's have a quick look at dollar yen as well. So dollar yen coming down towards recent lows on the weekly. Also very nice strong moves last week coming into test support. So other than a possible pullback, my expectation for now, you can see here that momentum very nice and bearish. I expect it to continue down. Dollar CAD as well. Not really succeeding so far in coming back up to test this level of support as resistance. Right now, it looks very much as though it's consolidating a little bit. You can see here on the weekly, we've got a small bullish candle. But for now, overall, I still expect this to continue to head lower. So all of these really at this time showing a support for a weaker US dollar again here as well. Dollar Swissy coming and testing on support, producing a series of lower highs. The bearish momentum. For now, I expect this to continue lower. Let's have a quick look at the global indices. So having quite a strong down day on Friday, we can see that what that's done is broken us out of this consolidation on the weekly and moved us into a lower level. So for now, my expectation is to see it continue to head down to potentially test support. If we break the low of this weekly candle, expect it to come down and test support around 42,000. The S&P as well, also big down day. Doesn't mean anything necessarily. It's a little bit too soon to tell. But for now, it is battling with that level of resistance. And so further downside makes a little bit of sense, at least that the market wants to test that. Look here at the NASDAQ closing right at the lows there, almost right until the close, tiny little wick there to heavy selling. Again, also having rejected these highs back down within this range, I expect it, if it breaks the low, to continue back down towards support around that 20,800 level. Comparing this to the FTSE 100, you can see here some nice strong wicks exhaustion, signs of exhaustion here. So for now, and it's a very nice level of resistance, I'd like to see this potentially break the low and continue back down to test this level of resistance for support. There's a clear downtrend on the daily, lower highs, lower lows, and so more bearish at this time. The DAX, let's have a quick look at the DAX. Also, I think, worth noting, this bearish rejection candle at that level at 22,500. And so for now, it makes more sense to me if we break the low here. Then we'll come back down towards the moving averages, potentially as far as 21,200. Although I have to say that that daily trend is looking very nice and healthy. We've got very nice MACD momentum. And actually, ordinarily, if I wasn't looking at this weekly close, I would expect this to actually produce a small bullish candle in this area and then for it to potentially make another run for the upside. But this weekly now looking quite overextended. Again, that MACD looking nice and healthy. So for now, I think if we break the low here, my expectation is just a simple retracement on that weekly. Crude oil, very quickly. Back down in the second bottom part of this range, you can see, looking at these weekly candles, very, very bearish. Also, Friday closing much lower. So again, more downside would make more sense here. Gold. Battling, it's much more visible now at the moment, that 2940 level battling, trying to get beyond that. Lots of buyers below here, not enough buyers above here to keep it going. The weekly candle actually still looks good, still looks very much as a continuation candle, but we are seeing some signs of weakness here. So I'll be looking to see if we manage to break through this level of resistance or if we're going to come back down to test support at a lower level, 2,800. Bitcoin, very quickly as well, also ranging at the moment and looking weak, battling with that $100,000 level, and right now looking much more like it's going to head back down to the bottom of this range that we could see here on that weekly. And finally with silver, let's just see if there's anything different. Right now also experiencing a bit of a pullback in an otherwise relatively decent trend. I'm going to leave you with that. Plenty to think about. Have a great week.